Dude, it's so crazy. One of the powers in the fucking Starfield is just slow time. It's like they make you more and more OP. Yeah, bro. It's fucking... It's ridiculous. Fucking Zawardo on these fools and then just go and pelt them with bullets. I don't think I'd be into sci-fi, but... Oh, speaking of, I gotta find the... I read the Well of Ascension that Adam fucking told us about. And I'm trying to fucking find the rest for the Wheel of Time now.
If you don't mind listening on YouTube, Gerry, there's a playlist here.
Oh, no
for,
shit.
For the Wheel of Time audiobooks.
Arg, matey.
Exactly, dude. No, bro, this is smuggling. Like, when I found Big O on YouTube, and I was watching that for a good minute, and then, like, it wasn't there anymore.
Bro, that series makes you want to read books.
I finished it, and I thought I'd be mature enough to understand what's happening.
Or the Big O?
It's just fairy tale in a different format. It's just fairy tale in a different format.
What?
I want to disagree with you, but I don't know. I still don't think I know enough about it.
I thought Big O was Batman in a Gundam.
It is, but then it turns into, like...
The actual plot for Big O.
It turns like Batman, and then it turns into, like... what was it? Episode 24 of Neon Genesis? Or the last one? The last episode where everything just goes fucking weird.
Oh, and there's no budget?
Yeah, when there's no budget and all that. It's kind of like that, except there's budget.
Okay, so here's my interpretation of what happens to Big O. So you have Roger. I guess you don't really see it, but in his own way, I feel like he's egocentric. And this is in his personality. He obviously portrays as a hero. And in this fucking city, of which, of course, he kind of plays the vigilante role, like Bruce Wayne does. He's like, I don't know what you call it. A detective, like one of those PIs. Yeah, the private investigators, that's right. And he ends up taking on this case where he's helping this old man deliver, what was it, a robot. Like, they just straight up told him that Dorothy was a robot, I think. And he ends up taking Dorothy. And I think somewhere during the first episode, like, for whatever reason, he understands that Dorothy is, like, somehow super precious because obviously some maniacal bad guy in a giant robot, like, is terrorizing the town trying to get him, and it just so happens that him being the rich kid that he is also has a giant robot. Just became the best anime for, like, the first 10 years of my life. Each episode is, like, delving into, like, from what I understood, like, a point of ego, or ergos, talking about the psyche and kind of also going into like a side B plot with all of these characters because they don't have any connection, yet somehow the story tells you they're all related. You meet this one lady, she's blonde and she's like an amnesiac. She's like, I don't know if you remember her, but she was like kind of homeless. She eventually like ends up going on to like this farm that they don't really have until, like, I want to say, like, episode 12 or 13. And the farm is supposed to be, like, outside of the town or, like, at the edge of town or whatever. Because they always revolve around this town, like it's Gotham or something, right? I want to say, like, the garden was supposed to represent, like, just that, like, little spot in your mind where you kind of go into zone out, right? Where you kind of just, like, go numb from thinking and things like that. The point where Ergos doesn't meet. It's just that little Zen garden. The plot ends up being so weird because even though Roger was the main character, he's a transactional main character. And I don't know if I'm using transactional correctly, where he is what you want him to be as he fits the bill in the main story.
Kind of like a mercenary.
Yeah, kind of like a mercenary. But as it turns out, because one of the plot devices later is Roger is not unique. He's, like, manufactured. He's a robot. There are multiple versions of Roger. He's kind of freaking out because he only understood, like, Dorothy was the only robot. It's kind of like Fallout 4 with synths. Like, he didn't know he was a synth. And that totally, like, threw his whole perspective of life and everything out of whack.
He's actually human, though.
Yeah, he is. I don't know. To be fair with you, I don't know. Like, I don't. It's been so long, bro. I don't even know. I'm sure half the shit I'm saying now is bullshit, but like I said, it just ends up turning out to be a point where, like, of course they have the whole thing with the fighting and the Gundams. Like, that's just like main plot to get you interested and like to keep you hooked. But like the actual side B plot was just so fucking weird. It was just like a whole psych trip. It really does make you want to read books. That was my whole main point to begin with Big O. That shit's really good. That homeless girl that I'm talking about, the whole entire scenario that they're in, the city, the people, the detective that he's always fighting, that Roger's always fighting with, everybody, every character. They're all actual characters in the book that this girl made, the blonde girl, the amnesiac. She's the author, and it just makes me think of Fairy Tale, because it just makes me think of Lucy, some other dumb blonde lady who's just going to make up some stories and just like, yeah, that all happened.
Oh, I see.
Dude, that was a stretch, but
It is,
I
isn't
see
it?
now.
Yeah, you can edit that out however you want. Still, though, 15 books?
Wheel of Time, everyone says 14 books because after book 10, he dropped a novella prequel. It's only like 300 something pages, and it's not really, you don't really need it to go through the whole series. It just tells you, for the most part, how two characters met. It's like a nice piece for the series, but it's not necessary. And I'm like, well, no, I'll still read it anyways. I already have it, so I might as well check it out. Really, that's all I've been doing the past, pretty much this whole year. I've just been reading Wheel of Time. I'm on book 6 right now, man. I'm going through like one a month because, oh man, these books are big, dude. Like the one I'm on right now, it's 983 pages, 82 pages.
Oh, these are like Harry Potter books.
Here, I'll post it. There's a graph for the Wheel of Time series where it's like, oh, you could fit Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, I think Dune, and like a couple other series, and there's still room.
4 billion words, you say, huh?
Yeah, everyone likes to bring up that there's 4 million.
So at what point would you say that you've crossed the million threshold? You're 6 out of 15. Would you say that you've already crossed it? You're one book off from being a good fraction, like a whole number. I'm sure that you've already read a million.
No, I don't think
He's
so.
using a
they're only like
I remember when you used to be good at math.
The average is about like 850 to 900 pages, so maybe
The Bible.
something crazy. I mostly read them when I'm at work, like on my break, and one of my coworkers walked by. He's like, "Oh, what you got there? A tome?"
Fuck yeah, dude. Get you some knowledge. That's crazy. Dang, Harry Potter was really a million. Yeah, man. I feel like Goblet of Fire alone was 1,000,000 words.
Almost 5 million, bro. You might as well have just rounded up, bro. Honestly.
Damn, the Eye of the World, huh? That's 300,000 words. I listened to somebody say 300,000 words.
If you peep that playlist I sent, most of those are like 40 plus hours.
I mean, well, my job fucking has me driving everywhere, so I'm just having my headphone in, and that helps because I want to read, but it's like I've been listening to people lecture for like so long, I can't help but actually pay attention when somebody's just talking in my ear. Yeah, music's cool, but like sometimes I'm like, all right, dude, let me learn me something.
I wish I could get into audiobooks like that. I'm more of a, I think I just have to read it kind of guy, just retain it more. But it's hard to keep up. Like I have some friends that are also reading the series, but they're also doing audiobooks, so they're just blowing through the series, and I'm like, damn, bro, like
I could do it auditorially, but would I retain it? Would I really retain it the same way that I would read it? There's a difference in applying how much effort when it takes to doing things.
But in my defense, I read Wheel of Time right after I read the first book of the Mistborn series, or I keep saying reading. I listen to them, but I'm just going to say reading. When I like going back and forth, I sometimes get the fucking world mixed up. I kind of have to spread apart the time in which I read.
I feel you, yeah, because you do too much at the same time, and it's like juggling too many series at once gets you really jumbled. That's kind of like what happened when I was reading manga a while ago.
Or read it all fast enough until you get caught up, and then you can just wait.
Yeah, but again, are you really
No.
getting anything when you read it really fast? I'm sorry. We are talking to the one exception in this fucking chat. Somebody who reads like at 10 times the speed.
Yeah. Well, I'll say this for Wheel of Time, there's so many characters and a lot of POV chapters. You're always moving around. There are characters I just don't care about. So when I get to their part, I just kind of like start like not caring and just skimming a little bit. And it's fine for the most part because a lot of it kind of doesn't matter towards the end of the book anyways.
I'm gonna have to reread it because I'm lost. I forget what happened now.
Well, I'll also say this: the Well of Ascension, the first book of the Mistborn series, that's from Brandon Sanderson. Robert Jordan was a huge influence on him, so there might be some similar vibes there between the two books. And Sanderson's also the author that finished the Wheel of Time series after Jordan passed. He wrote the last 3 books.
I'm glad I got to go through both of these. Then it's my journey.
Like, just my excuses is like I can really just zone things out when people are talking in my ear.
It's because I'm in autopilot at work like most of the time. Have to have something like in my ear, otherwise I'm gonna go crazy just listening to sounds.
Sound.
Yeah, so like outside and other people and stuff like that. I don't know. This is the same sounds like every day, like every single day. So like if I just have a book in my ear, I have like pretty much like have no choice but to like listen to what's going on in my ear. And like yeah, I'm aware of my surroundings, but it's almost always empty. I'm never like talking to anybody. I'm just autopilot in and out all day. So it makes it less unbearable when I have like, especially when their voice is great, dude. Because some people like they have a voice for like audiobooks. So I think that's a big factor too on why I'm like more receptive, because they get actual like linguists to come in and read this with just the most soothing voice I can listen to. They actually get into the character sometimes too, which makes it like that much more entertaining for me when I'm like just in the daily doldrums of my life, you know, just listening to somebody just get into this kind of stuff. These 2 series I read, but there's another one where this guy, his name is Jeremy Irons. That man has a voice for reading. Like I could listen to any class he would be teaching and I'd be fully invested.
Yeah, from what I heard for the Wheel of Time audiobooks, I think early on they have 2 people reading it when it changes POVs to like the women characters and the men characters.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
like, oh, that's kind of cool. Pronunciation for most of these names too really help. I've been kind of wanting to check out the audiobooks. I have the God of War audiobook, and I remember I grabbed it because it's the voice actor for...
Oh, Mimir?
Yeah, his voice actor reads the book, which is pretty cool.
Oh, that's yeah. See stuff like that where you can kind of more appreciate it. Some of the audiobooks I get, they say like unabridged, which seems like I know they're reading from the book, but are they adding their own like sort of flair?
Unabridged means the whole thing with nothing cut out.
Oh, okay. So it's exactly the opposite of what I was thinking.
Even though the Wheel of Time show is nothing like the book, Rosamund Pike, who plays Moraine, she did the audiobook for the first 2 books so far.
So is she the voice of the females?
No, for her version of the audiobook, she's just reading the whole thing.
Okay.
And she's kind of having her accent that she uses when she plays Moiraine in the show. So that's kind of cool.
I know it's fucking with cancel culture and all that shit. Society is like it's frowned upon when you do any kind of accent, but yeah, shit really helps in these books.
Yes,
it's more like world building, and it makes you feel like you're actually in there.
My main thing with reading books like this is I'll just play like some like Skyrim soundtracks and stuff while I'm reading it. You know, get immersed into the fantasy.
Sit in front of the fireplace. Have a stove.
Yeah, get that 8-hour fireplace tavern video on YouTube. I'll just put that on and I'll just read some chapters.
I usually have to be somewhere quiet. I'm not really at that level, to be fair with you. I'm just going to be honest. That's why I'm so quiet. I'm not like at a big level where I'm just like reading habitually. For me, I would have to like just be somewhere alone, concentrate, being able to just like kind of zone out after a while. And then, but I don't have that, I guess, that attention span. And I don't know if that's like partially just me being undisciplined or like just having actual attention deficit and not having, the right needs to take care of that.
Think about that every day too. I'm actually writing a book right now, and it's fucking hard to actually stay on it.
Finding an interest, but they're kind of short-lived, and then kind of like just jumping a little bit from hobby to hobby. But
yeah,
like, I want to force myself to like kind of stick through something. To be fair, I have like my goals set, you know? That's why I'm like kind of diligent and like wanting to put myself in a situation where I can just really like focus on this and really like give it my best effort and give it all my attention. I used to like really like, I guess, like the teen novels. I don't know. I haven't really like grown out of that, I guess. Things like Percy Jackson.
I think me, you, and everybody in the world too, because otherwise we wouldn't have these Marvel movies coming out and stuff.
I mean, dude, I picked up Aragon. You know, I'm ready to read Aragon whenever I'm done with Wheel of Time.
I don't know if I would reread Percy Jackson. I still have one book. I wanted to get into like light novels, the Gundam light novels, or
Yeah.
like Warhammer light novels. Like I'm really like a big fan of like D&D lore. Like I would probably spend a long time on Wikipedia, not only as a child but like now these days, just like kind of like reading through lore and like seeing like from like chronological order from like which game or which, you know, dungeon set is like what like plots are for the game and like what's the current canon or all that good stuff. Like I don't know, that stuff is like always interesting to me, even though I've never played D&D, but that's like something that I've always wanted to do.
No, yeah, I feel that. I kind of want to dive into the Halo books just to see what's going on there. I didn't even realize there was over 30 books. But yeah, I just wanted to like get more into it. You know, like now that they're slowly doing One Piece light novels, I'm like, yeah, dude, sign me up. Let's go.
Oh, really?
Well, so far in English, there's only the Ace ones. In Japan already, they released one, I think, for Sanji.
It's never gonna end, is it?
Dude, like, yeah, I left work, then one of my coworkers was just like, oh, hey, I have a question about One Piece. And I'm like, well, I'm here. What are we talking about? He's like, oh, did you intentionally not tell me certain things? And I'm like, yeah.
You have to feel what I felt.
That was a question he asked. He's like, oh, I don't know, like, part of me wants to kind of just go all the way and catch up and then be in the moment. And then the other part of me wants to just, like, wait and see if the ending's going to be worth it. I'm like, nah, bro, you just got to jump in, man.
Get in it, you know.
jump into the deep end, bro.
Don't even dip your toe, bro. Just fucking go in.
Yeah, that One Piece is not for dipping your toe, bro. You either go, you're a strong swimmer, bro. You'll survive.
Back when we were all reading it, like in high school and stuff, like during the Paramount War, I was like, man, like reading that weekly was so crazy. Freaking Gear Forth was so crazy.
Dude, it's so crazy right now. Oh my god.
There was a break this past week, but the latest chapter, I was telling him, like, dude, the chapter is so good that you know the next 5 chapters are about to go crazy.
It's about to go off, bro.
Because you gotta build up to the moment. That's why you gotta, like, read all this shit, dude. I hate to say it, but some of the fillers, too, like, actually have something to do with what's going on here. Like, Luffy didn't hit Gear Second until a filler. Remember that shit? And he did that shot on accident.
It was like one of the movies. That's movie 7, I think.
Yeah, every time we get to a new arc in One Piece, it doesn't happen like very often. You know, every couple of years we always get that one flavor part of the arc, that flavorful part where it's just like a whole shit show and they have to just fight their way out of somewhere and everything good just happens. It's almost the bread and butter of like the whole pirate theme of what they do, you know? And it kind of matches where Luffy's at too, canonically in the whole thing. It's great.
Did you finish the Netflix show, Oscar?
I did not. I did start Castlevania though. I was kind of waiting for that. 2 episodes. I'm 1 episode in. I don't know. I liked it. I think my only reservation was I kind of didn't imagine Richter would sound like that, but then I was like, You know, I was like, I'll just take it for now and see what happens. See how this goes.
Dang. So there's another Castlevania out?
Yeah, it came out already. I think it came out in September.
Damn,
yeah,
I need a Netflix.
It's technically like season 5, but it's what is it called, Nocturne? Mm-hmm.
Since you bring up Netflix, I just saw today, literally scrolling. I'm not gonna tell you what I was doing, but I was scrolling and I saw that they have a price change again.
Oh, I thought you were gonna bring something else.
But I was just gonna bring up real quick that they were upgrading it. The price that the package that we normally had. Yeah, they had that shit up to $23. It's $22.99, and every other subsequent package is also getting an upgrade. So I think like the baseline, no ads, is going to be like $14, $13.99, and I only got the ad version. I'm not gonna lie, so they're not touching that one, but it's like $7. I just think it's crazy these days. I feel like I'm like any subscription thing that I have that I'm still gonna want, I'm just gonna keep it like no ad or with ads.
As the great prophet Gabe Newell once said, pirating is a service issue.
Yes, one Jeff Thu from Mother's Basement also said, if you can't acquire it, then it's okay.
Yeah. That's a good one. I'm gonna write that down.
It's crazy for Netflix too, because like they finally rolled out the sharing password problem. I noticed that you're trying to log into this account, but this isn't the Wi-Fi you usually use. Are you away from home? Do you want to do a temporary thing? And it's like, get out
Oh
of here.
no. What they offered you was you can add an addition to your account, like so that you could use an account somewhere else, but it's like an additional $8. What was the premise of X-Men Evolution?
Of Origin? Stryker trying to get Wolverine to become Weapon X by giving him the adamantium. You know, we get some flashbacks with him, with Task Force X, and then I think that was what
Silver Fox too, right?
Oh, yeah, she was in there. She was kind of like the sleeper agent GF for Wolverine. And then you had Sabretooth, you know, as Lieb Strider playing him. You got Gambit.
Will.i.am.
Will.i.am, yep.
Whoa, what was he was the teleporter, right? Azazel,
that's what it is.
Azazel,
yeah. He's not him, but in the PlayStation 3 X-Men Origins game, one of the side missions is you see Will.i.am, and he's hanging out with Mystique, and he's just like, yeah, Logan, don't tell anybody about this, man. Just, you know, let us do our thing.
Word for word.
At least before First Class, that implied, like, oh, that was probably Nightcrawler's dad then. It just kind of sucks that the last thing they did was, Dark Phoenix.
Do you remember the OG animated series?
With the 90s one? Yeah, so good.
I fucking love the plot where Nightcrawler and Rogue were brother and sister.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that was from the comic or if that was just from the show, but I thought that was so good.
I think that was from the comics.
Whoever just decided that Rogue was going to be some goth chick from Tennessee.
That was X-Men Evolution. That was the one that was like in the early 2000s that got released. I mean, that one's good too. You get Steve Bloom as Logan, and then that's where X-23 got introduced. Like, they created that character for the show, and then she eventually moved on to the comics, like Harley Quinn did. So I was like, yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, I remember that frog dude, and then that Spike dude, remember?
Freaking Toad, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Dude, the Spike dude is Storm's nephew.
What?
The black kid with the mohawk, Liberty Spikes.
Oh, I'm probably thinking about something else.
I remember seeing that character in X-Men 3, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I remember when they introduced that character. I don't know if he was introduced or if they just showed him in the show. It just ends up being
I don't know he was black. I thought he was like Asian. I
think he's Asian in the movie.
In the movie? Yeah, that's him then. Okay. Yeah. It's the same person but different freaking actors.
Yeah,
right?
I think he's the one fighting Wolverine in the forest, like shooting the...
Oh, there's too many of these characters. They're just like One Piece.
But yeah, glad you brought up One Piece. Let's circle back to Netflix real quick. I didn't even see this. This is from like 6 days ago. They released cast photos for the live-action Yu Yu Hakusho. Some of my friends just posted it earlier, and I was like, oh, isn't this just from like the Japanese play? And then, yeah, just a quick search, and it's like, oh, yeah, 6 days ago, this is the live-action cast. And I was like,
Kuwabara?
That's not Kuwabara, bro. That's like... Come on.
That's not Kuwabara, dude.
That's a guy trying to dress up as Kuwabara.
Oh, my God.
Since you bring up Yu Yu Hakusho, did you hear it's getting reanimated?
What?
It is confirmed, my guy.
Is it like for an anniversary?
Studio.
Dude, he reminds me of a Yakuza character. I don't know if I forgot his name though.
Yeah,
I don't know about this. I have like
Kuwabara?
I don't know, man. Yeah. No, Hiei. Yeah, but I was like, I don't know about this.
He honestly has Kuwabara's hair. I don't know why he's looking like that.
This is what I thought. I'm gonna post this photo. This is the cast for the Japanese play that they do. And that's what I thought this was. But I'm like, oh no, this is way better, bro.
Dude, look at that wig for Kuwabara, bro. That's what I'm talking about, man.
Dude, it's so I didn't know. I never knew how hard Japan went with the live action plays for like anime until you start seeing these photos, like these promo posters. You're like, damn, these go hard. Like the Naruto one, the outfits are all on point. It's crazy.
Who's directing?
It's a Japanese production, so I have no idea.
Japanese production. It's gonna be in Japanese then?
Yes.
Like, which means we'll have to watch it subbed?
Probably, yeah. Let's see. Oh, it's gonna be produced by Akira Mori. Oh, he produced Alice in Borderland. Okay. But it's being directed by Sho Suikawa.
So this is what he decided that we're gonna do with Yu Yu Hakusho when he focuses on Oh, he's not focusing on Hunter x Hunter anymore, huh? He already passed that off to somebody else.
No.
He is focusing on it again, huh?
He just tweeted 2 weeks ago that he's doing another set of chapters to go out. Man, he's never going to finish this damn thing. Like, it's over as far as I'm concerned, right? Like, we're just going to have that shitty art for the Chimera Ant stuff, and, you know, like, the rest is just, like, a sequel or whatever. I didn't know that he actually went back and redrew all the shitty art for that arc. And when you go back and look at it, it's like, this is, like, insane detail work. Crazy.
Yeah.
No, yeah, if you go to the official Shonen Jump app to read it, it's all the new artwork. Like with Murata, the reason why like One Punch Man always has breaks is because he goes back and redraws chapters for the volumes before they get released.
Are you guys still keeping up with One Punch Man, by the way?
Yep. It's on one of those cooldown arcs, I guess. I mean, there is like a big bad that they're showing up. It's like the Hero Association and shit. Then they made the Neo Heroes because the Hero Association, I guess, sucks. It's still moving along, yeah. It's still chugging. Still pretty good. Yeah, but I don't know if he's still keeping up with like the One Punch webcomic, or if he just completely just moved over here, because I gave up on the one comic long ago. Yeah, I stopped reading it like a little bit before this arc, so whatever happens here, it's like new to me now.
Yeah, the last thing I read from the webcomic was like when he was starting to fight Tatsumaki outside of A City.
Yeah, that one.
Oh, after he moved, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's where I am for the manga version right now.
Is that where they're at, or are they past that?
They're a little past it.
The Gyara went on for a long time, but goddamn, dude, that last like big chunk was so good.
Like, I think that's what kept me actually into the rest of this, because I think I would have stopped after like the tournament. But like the fact that his build up was coming and he was getting stronger and stronger, I'm like, all right. And then he hit fucking cosmic levels. I'm like, dude, like what's happening?
It got crazy. Yeah,
it's so insane.
And you get to see Saitama's true power, and that's just kind of like where I fell in love with that comic right there, up until, you know, like the hiatus happened.
In that arc, one kind of expands on that a little bit and like teases it for like a future arc, I think, because a character shows up that's not in that arc in the webcomic, and you're like, oh shit, like what's going on, man?
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
Shit.
I'm gonna have to start reading now.
Between that and My Hero took a while to build up. I'm not gonna lie, but right now it's fucking so good. But can't like help but compare them to it, because the whole superhero thing, or
It's not just about it being a superhero thing. It's just like about where it is plot wise. It's just where you wanted it to be at. We're getting the climax. This is peak Eisen levels, is what I always think about every single time we get to the apex of whatever show that we're watching, or manga that we started reading when we were kids, or whatever the hell it is, you know, like, same thing with Demon Slayer. Like, I feel like when I finally got into Demon Slayer, it was almost over. They were like basically 20 chapters away from being over already, because he just decided to end it early, and none of us saw that coming, you know? But like, we were in the middle of this, like, what's his name? Mizan? Whatever his name is, Michael Jackson.
Muzan, whatever, Mulan, yeah.
And like, you're just like, man, like this is peak. Like, you were the main antagonist. Like, we're about to see this get down. Like, this is the same vibes I get when I'm thinking about this stuff, man. Like, it's just what we want, and I really hope that they just like end things on a good note. Once we get, you know, like, to the bread and butter and to the closure of these fights, you know, I can definitely see My Hero going. Like, it keeps going, or they pull a Naruto. I don't know, like the One for All versus All for One thing, and then just decided to keep going with like something else. Man, but yeah, I don't really just kind of figure it to just like the hero thing. I'm just like, we're finally get to see the apex of like I said, the main antagonist coming out, and now like this whole thing with All Might, you know. I think
he think My Hero's just gonna keep going after like this one's finished. It's gonna grow up to his adult, and then just new shit's gonna happen. I'm like, I see it, definitely. The way it's going, it seems like something like it's not going to end.
It's one of those series where it's super popular and it has so many spin-offs now that, like, yeah, it is kind of hard to just end something like that. I mean, especially with Weekly Shonen Jump, because they just keep canceling every new series that pops up on that thing. Like, most new series barely get 12 chapters, which is
it's the Netflix of manga.
Yeah, it's just that super strict policy they have over there, you know. Which, I mean, it sucks to see some mangas go away, but then like that's how you really get all the good series that they have. Yeah, unfortunately for me, I haven't really been keeping up with manga since I've been reading Wheel of Time. Like, the only thing I'm like caught up on is One Piece, and then like every now and then I'll try to read some chapters to catch up on one or two things.
You guys reading webtoons still?
Yeah, I'm still reading Lookism. Kind of slowing down a viral hit. Lookism is still fucking good.
I caught up a few months ago to everything we were reading, and then I just haven't gone back since.
I mentioned this before, but I've been playing this Tower of God game. It's like a gotcha mobile game, and I've been playing it for like every day for like 2 months. Every single day that I open my app, like after 5 o'clock when the reset happens, I keep thinking to myself, "Today's the day, and I'm gonna read this chapter." I start getting caught up. By the time I'm done doing all my dailies, I just close that thing down, and I'm like, "Yeah, whatever."
I'm sure it's really good. It's just like there's a lot.
When I caught up the Tower, I was like, "Oh, it's getting pretty nice right now."
I think the problem with it is like you see Bomb all like suited up and he's all ready to go, just kick some ass. But like there's so much filler because there's so many things people are doing like that are not with Bomb right now. Like and then they add new fucking characters that I don't give a fuck about. Mm-hmm. That they just like they're coming in and like, oh, let them in. I'm like, what does that mean? I noticed this too with Tower. It's like it doesn't take that long for him to reach the big bad, and then there's another big bad after that. Turns out he's under like direct orders or some shit. When in reality, we all know who the fucking big bad is, dude. It's the fucking families. Like, but the fact that like right now he's actually. He gets me mad because he's supposedly working with the family head now, and I'm like, well, where's the fucking fight, dude? Like, I need the Tower to fall, and he needs to like start taking out heads now with like all the power ups that he has. Like he's got what's his name, Traumery. He's got that guy almost scared, but like Traumery is I think too psychopath to feel anything, honestly. But I don't doubt that dude's power. I'm sure he's fucking just OP as shit. But Bam is like, come on, dude. Like he's ready. I'm too impatient with it.
Oh man, I built this huge world. I have to really like get into it, and that's just the part that sucks. Like book 6 of Wheel of Time. I think they all have prologues, right, to catch you up on characters that you may have not seen in a while. Time does pass between the books. But the prologue, it went through all the POVs of like who's important in the book, and it's 72 pages. And I'm like, dude, I'm not even at chapter 1 yet, and I'm almost at page 100. Insane.
Pacing is definitely important, but there is such thing as too much of like recap. Like if you've gone so far as to go all the way to book 6, like I don't think you need that big of a recap. Because like if the fact that you're already there and Wheel of Time is so many words, it's not like you just picked up book 6 all of a sudden, dude.
Robert Jordan's writing is he likes to be super detailed in explaining everything. So every single book, whenever he mentions something, he always re-explains what it is in like a couple sentences. And I'm like, bro, I'm here.
You had me already.
Bro.
Tighten it up a little bit, bud. You know, like, what are we doing?
He's fucking dead, Danny.
Yeah.
He ain't doing shit.
Yeah, R.I.P. But yeah, I'm like, yes, I know what a nice Sedai is. I know what this and that is. Like, you don't have to keep writing it every single book, dude. It's okay.
What's Ice of Die?
They're the women in the world that basically have magic powers. It's called the One Power. It's like Shinsu, basically. And certain women can learn to channel like one half of the One Power.
Fuck, man, I hate how much that makes sense.
When I was reading book 5 a while back, I'm like, fuck, dude, I'm just reading Tower at this point, dude. Because like there's like a harem aspect going on. The main character for Wheel of Time is like the reincarnation of somebody who's fighting evil, and I'm like, oh, Bam is like the spitting image of his dad who went against Jihad. I'm like, damn, bro, it's here. The live action show kind of sucks. Yeah. But I was talking with my friends who already finished the book, talking about like, yeah, dude, I mean, like, even if they get all the way to the end, there's just stuff like they can't adapt. It gets too zany. And I'm like, I mean, I don't know, they could probably do it. And then the finale for book like 4 and 5, I'm like, dude, this is just an anime that I'm reading at this point. It gets crazy with like the action scenes.
So all the stuff that you have to read, do you ever have to reread?
I think in the earlier books I did. like staying more consistent with reading the books. You know, I'm retaining more, and I'm able to just sit there and read longer. I was going to start this series last year after I finished like a couple books here and there, and then just like chapter 4, I'm like, I still have 800 pages, dude. I can't. I'm like, I'll just put this down for a little bit. But once I said, fuck it, I'm just going to dive in. Eventually, I'm like, yeah, I don't really need to go back anymore. Maybe just like some characters that haven't shown up in like 3 books. Like the way it's written almost expects you to remember who that person is. So it kind of takes a while for I'm like, wait, why is that familiar? Wait, hold on, let me go back over. Oh, okay, that makes sense now.
Yeah, I would feel like I would have like gave into my weakness. Probably would have just quick checked my wiki really fast.
Oh yeah, I got spoiled for like a couple things already by going to the wiki real quick just to look at something.
Yeah, that seems like it's kind of right up my alley. Right, what I was looking for, some D&D-esque universe, you know. I thought to myself, I'm like, before I get into this, I'm just going to finish reading the Korra books. And then I actually have to get one more Korra book because they have a book about, not Korra, I didn't mean to say Korra, the Avatar books, The Legend of Avatar.
Oh, yeah.
The Kyoshi books, before they come out with the series. They also have a book they made about, I don't know if you remember that one Avatar.
It's the air one, right?
Yeah, the air one, the pacifist one.
Yeah.
She was the only Avatar that went through the entire thing without any conflict, her whole life cycle. I remember that was like a huge cop-out, like in the show, when Aang finally went to see and talk to all of his spirit states. And he's just like, well, you're an airbender like me. How did you deal with it? She's just like, I got super lucky, bro. Like, I don't know what to tell you. I'm looking forward to seeing those projects too. I'm just really, really hoping that they give it more passion than they did for this game that just came out for the Avatar.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah. They just dusted off a hard drive from like 2005 for like some like JavaScript game. And it's like, oh, let's put this out for $50. Yeah, I never played that 360 PS3 era game. I'm pretty sure that looks way better than this one. And I know some people don't like it, but I'm like, oh, I like the Korra game. I thought the Korra game was cool.
That's too bad, too, because I never really got into The Mandalorian. I did manage to watch all the Star Wars movies. And most of The Simpsons, but I didn't really feel like too much of the other stuff. Oh, I never saw Moon Knight either.
I liked Moon Knight. I thought it was pretty cool. It does that thing where, oh man, the first episode goes so hard. And then the rest of it kind of like doesn't really hit that level again. But there's still some good stuff in there. And then the finale, there's basically like a kaiju fight. So that's like pretty cool.
That does sound nice.
It teases like a season 2. And I'm like, yeah, I'd be interested. The only problem really, it's just like, oh man, like that costume is CG. Like you can tell like the budget wasn't fully there for that show versus other like Disney Plus stuff. It does the typical MCU TV thing where it's we have to shove this in because we're going to get the spinoff later. I thought Hawkeye was pretty good, but there's this whole subplot that just who cares? Only reason it's here is because they already confirmed that this character is going to have a show after this season.
Yeah, at this point, you know, they just gotta flesh out the whole universe just because, and then get everything set up for, what is it? Well, they already started,
Like for the shows?
Like the whole show movie plot. Like phase 1 was, Thanos, right?
Phase 5.
The Avengers.
The Thanos was phase 3, and then all this random stuff was phase 4. And then at some point they're like, "Oh yeah, we're in phase 5 now," and everyone's like, "What?"
We're in the galactic timeline now, right? With Galactus and Silver Surfer and all that bullshit.
No, they're still doing the Kang stuff. Well, guys, that'll be a wrap for the episode. Thanks for coming back and checking out what we're doing now. Remember, email unversedpodcast@gmail.com. If you have any questions, we'll bring them up on the episode and have a little discussion about it. So, alright guys, we'll catch y'all on the next episode.